What is your group and what are you planning to do?
All right, so as you mentioned, our group is the Convoy to Save America. We want to support the Canadians in what they've done in their efforts because they got this thing started. They got the ball rolling. I was like, when I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, yes! I mean, finally, some people are standing up, and I'm like, yeah, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. But the first thing that I thought, I mean, I don't know, it just touched my heart, and I was like, I'm gonna contact the organizers of the main convoy and see how we can help on this side, you know. And I think I was in the main group that got shut down. You guys, the Convoy to Ottawa, the big page that was shut down, and I said, maybe after Ottawa, how about, you know, Convoy to DC? And I was kind of like, ha, ha, ha. And then I had like tons of people like, yes, yes. So I put the hashtag like Convoy to DC. And then I got in touch with Joe Jansen and some other people. And everybody started reaching out. And I got the Facebook group going. I think we have like close to 11,000. And, you know, it just has taken off. And I have just been overwhelmed at the number of people that are like, let's go. And like you said, the Canadian flag and the American flag combined together, and it's everywhere. You know, there's now merch out there.
Give us a brief high-level overview of what things look like in Ottawa right now. Who's there? How big is it? What's the response been like?
The response has been amazing and overwhelming, and something I never would have thought I would experience in Canada. The amount of support and unity amongst people. And not only that, you know, initially when we started, you always get worried about what's going to be the response from law enforcement. And we've gone out of our way just to show we're good custodians, despite what the fake news says. And, you know, we've been cleaning up, shoveling, putting garbage in garbage bags. We have all our emergency routes planned in case there's emergency vehicles that need to get through. And after a few days and talking with police on the ground, it seems to be that strategy worked because they understand that it's a peaceful, family-orientated event where people can bring their kids. It's gone off well without a hitch, to the point that police have said to us, okay, it's been...
Humans been controlled since the day that they were civilized. The truth has been so heavily politicized. If you don't know who's controlling you and killing all the little guys, find out who you're not allowed to criticize. Black folks who were never ever actual slaves, fighting with white folks who ain't actual Nazis, controlled by rich folks who use the news to make hate, while elite folks control other political parties. It's a big lie, trying to make you pick sides, trying to make you burn the cities down and kill each other. They got sick minds, big lies, beef on the police so that there's big crime. To take away our freedom, to restore order, they let die. They starve you with a lack of information and only give you facts through a branded corporation. Distort your worldview with an algorithm that changes based on propaganda curated for your engagement. We can't be free, can't have no peace till we're on the same team, but y'all are sheep. Glued to screens, just part of the machine. Y'all are sheep. What do y'all believe? Oh, my sheep. Nothing's what it seems. Hollywood been writing your brain, controlling your mouth. You say lit, fleet, bet, cap, they trying to dumb you down. They endorse whatever narrative is popular to shout and use minorities in movies for diversity clout. Two sides on the spectrum, but ain't none of them honest. Took the red pill and the blue pill, spit them both in the garbage. Being woke used to mean you understood you're a target, and now it's having two good legs and never taking a step forward. If you agree it's free speech, disagree it's hate speech. Erase it if it came from anywhere except the mainstream. Trump supporters labeled as the racist, but that can't be. Lincoln was Republican, and that's who ended slavery. Science been politicized, it's easy to see. A mask became a symbol of which side you believe, but you'll never cure a sickness till you cure the greed, because the problem with our natural immunity is it's free. Society is broken, want you locked inside a cubicle, addicted to pornography, liquor, and pharmaceuticals. Tell you that you're fat and poor and you were never beautiful, then tweet how much they love you when they hear about your funeral. We can't be free, can't have no peace till we're on the same team, but y'all are sheep. Glued to screens, just part of the machine. Y'all are sheep. What do y'all believe? Oh, my sheep. Nothing's what it seems. If they can't convince you, they confuse you. They want you dumb and dead. They divided you by race, religion, income, and sex. Made everybody right and left. The hatred got so intense. If the other side likes oxygen, you'll put a bag on your head. And the conspiracy theories labeled as misinformation is just a terrifying truth that scares the hell out the nation. The system treating you like trash and you got rifles to aim with. Just imagine how they'll treat you when your guns get confiscated. George Orwell, 1984 was his last lecture. George called them thought police, now we call them fact checkers. Government surveillance trying to catch you, they don't ask questions. Mass incarceration equals capital for cash investors. The system isn't broke, it's working fine. Oppressive and chaotic is how it was designed. They say if we ain't doing nothing wrong, there's nothing to hide. While their agenda and intelligence completely classified. They don't teach you rights in school, you never learn them at all. Cause they're easy to remove if you don't know what they are. The only people you can rule are the criminal ones. So they force you into corners till you're breaking the law. We can't be free, can't have no peace till we're on the same team. But y'all are sheep, glued to screens, just part of the machine. Y'all are sheep. What do y'all believe? Oh my sheep. Nothing's what it seems.
You know, everybody always asks me why I do what I do and why I don't just like stop and give up and, you know, not have all these groups and everything. But I look at my children and I can't give up the fight. Everything has changed so much in the past 2 years that I can't stop. My babies deserve better, so please join with me.
There she is!
Hey.
We did it!
But I was like,
No,
oh,
honey.
look, everybody can see me. I sent you probably 20 requests.
Yeah, no, I'm not joking. I could not see that. And when I went to the request to like join the live, your name was not in there.
Did you not see all of my comments either? Where I
No,
was like,
nothing.
I'm here.
I saw that you were watching. Anyway, maybe it's a technical issue, hopefully, but it also could be that, you know, Facebook has let me know that my exposure is going to be limited. And of course, you know, we're shadow banned and they're after us. So a lot of times.
Now, I have been very shadow banned, and they told me that everything was going to go to the bottom of the feed.
Me too.
So for 90 days, I have like a.
On Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, a lot of times, like when you try to investigate what's happening with your views or your exposure, it says like technical glitch or service unavailable. So anyway, they mess with us. Who cares? You're here right now. And tell me about the flowers in your hair.
So the deal is, I knew we had the live going today, but we were going to go to work. So I have on my work clothes. And I was like, well, I didn't have time to do makeup. And then you said it was going to be a little later. I was like, yes.
No, honey, you look absolutely gorgeous.
But I went and put this. So I had a turd on top of my head, and I just stuck some of my zinnias that I grew in my garden out there.
Well, see, y'all, this is why, like, my following and the people who, like, identify with me, it's straight women like you, because I don't think you would have put those flowers in your hair if you weren't talking to Lady Maga USA.
Right.
You look beautiful, by the way. By the way,
I'm a little extra. I've always been extra. So
well, live your extra life, honey. At all my booths, like when I do a Lady Maga booth, if they take whatever, I hand out pieces of extra gum, and I say, always remember to stay extra. You froze. She's frozen. You're frozen when your heart's not open. I can see myself. You're totally frozen. Well, anyway, you guys, who knows what's going on? But because she put flowers in her hair, I decided to put flowers on my Trump hat here. So I think we might have to do this another day. Yep, she's gone. Her internet cut out. Anyway, you guys, I have no idea what happened with this live, but I'm just going to do my best to honor Melisha and her message, and we'll go live when I'm in Tennessee. So here is number one. Okay, number one, I wanted to ask her, why are you my friend? Why would you support someone like me who's a drag artist when you religiously believe that homosexuality is a sin. And she explained to me, number one, this is America, and we don't all have to agree on everything. Number two, as a Christian, she says it's not her right to judge. And I'm like, that's very nice. But you can judge, righteously judge, when LGBTQ indoctrination is in your schools with your kids. You can judge when a drag queen is dressed like a prostitute in a thong asking your kids for tips. You can judge when they have a public drag show in a park with drag performers named genitalia and anal leakage, Anna Lee Cage. That's when you can judge. But I don't think we should judge if people like me are dignified and we are theatrical and we're silly and we're fabulous. That's where we draw the line. So this has kind of been my journey ever since I walked away from the LGBTQ rainbow plantation mafia, which is what it is. There's no room for dissent. So once I walked away from that, once I walked away from the left, I was never really completely on the left, but I definitely was, you know, surrounded by liberals and LGBTQ and Democrats, and I thought that was my community. So when I walked away, I lost a heck of a lot of friends and family. You'd be surprised. I have lost so many family relationships. And I recorded a song called Blood Thinners. It's coming out soon. I'm filming a music video right now. But the funny thing is my family members, these are people who left the Mormon church. And I did too. Like, I'm gay, didn't work out. God bless the Mormons. They're my best friends. So a lot of people, when they leave the Mormon church, they cannot leave it alone. They have to attack it. They have to call it bigotry. They have to call it a cult. They have to just go after it. And I'm like, you know what? Your temple is very beautiful. You live your life. And as long as you respect me to live my life, like Melisha does with me, that's why I'm going to Tennessee. That is what America is about. Free speech means we have to live with people who do not see eye to eye with us. And we have to live with people who might think we're absolutely terrible. But that's the price of free speech. You're going to be offended sometimes. Anyway, I'm not offended when somebody says, I don't believe in homosexuality. I think being gay is a sin, but I love you. And I'm like, God bless you. You don't have to believe anything that I believe. We are Americans together. And as long as you support the Constitution and free speech and the Second Amendment, we're all going to be okay and we can get along.
I will never understand how someone can be offended by the American flag. How can you be offended by freedom? They were all about the money from the get-go. And I was working with the Children's Health Defense, which is Michael Caine and Robert Kennedy Jr. They were actually part of our organization team. They joined me when I started the Convoy. Children's Health Defense did. And then I brought on this Penny and Daniel guy because I knew them and I trusted them. And I thought, you know, they were local so they could help me. But then in the middle of the night, when we went to the Canadian border, on the way home, they were like, we want you to ride in our van on the way home. And I'm like, okay. So I told my husband and my kids I was going to go in this other van. And they started telling me how we needed to have, this needed to be a business. We need to make a business out of this. That there was a huge money-making opportunity. And I was like, no, I don't think so. I want to keep it grassroots. And they were like, no, you cannot keep all this money in your bank account and in your Venmo. I was like, y'all, there's no money left. I mean, there's like $4,000 left because, you know, we had paid for rental vans. We had paid for supplies for the truckers in Canada. We had paid for, we rented 3 15-passenger vans and that was almost $2,000. Then we rented Airbnbs when we went to the Canadian border. Then we went to Hagerstown. Then we went to Atlanta. We rented cars and had hotel rooms. And I'm like, Where do y'all think the $16,000 go? I said, how much? That's not that much money. And see, they were both unemployed, and I'm the only one with a job, so they thought that was a lot of money, and they were seeing it as a money-making opportunity. And they're like, well, the penny lady, she goes, as soon as we get back to Nashville, you will be opening up an account that we can all access. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I am not, letting that many hands dip into money because it's other people's money, and I'm going to be the one responsible because I'm the one who started this convoy, They got pissed. I mean, they were fuming, and it was just crazy. It was, and then it was in the middle of the night, right when we got back from Hagerstown, in the middle of the night, they just took me and the people from the Children's Health Defense and everybody off as, I was admin. The other people were moderators. And then Daniel I had made him admin because he was like, I really need to help you. And you have so many kids. You have so little time. I need to help you more. But the only way is if you make me admin. And see, he has a stupid podcast that nobody would follow because his content sucks. And so does she. And they had been saying, oh, my God, we've never had a platform this big. This is awesome, blah, blah, blah. So it's crazy. But they literally went the next day and applied for a business license and an LLC. And I'm like, how the hell are you going to have an LLC for a convoy? Who drank this? Why are you trying to make money out of a convoy?
That we always stand and fight for what is right, and they still sing Amazing Grace at the Baptist church down the street from where I was raised. And I love to see the pride in every.
All right, so we're on. Okay. Let me just, can I, yeah, okay.
Yeah, absolutely right. That's the plan. October 31st. Looks like we're going to have a group here and a group there already. So now if everybody just join in and get out there and start doing them slow rolls like they're supposed to.
My name is Donnie.
Seen that video where the ATF
give us a brief high-level overview of what things look like in Ottawa right now? Who's there? How big is it? What's the response been like?
The response has been amazing and overwhelming, and something I never would have thought I would experience in Canada. The amount of support and unity amongst people, and not only that, initially when we started, you always get worried about what's going to be the response from law enforcement, and we've gone out of our way just to show we're good custodians, despite what the fake news says. And, we've been cleaning up, shoveling, putting garbage in garbage bags. We have all our emergency routes planned in case there's emergency vehicles that need to get through. And after a few days and talking with police on the ground, it seems to be that strategy worked because they understand that it's a peaceful, family-orientated event where people can bring their kids. It's gone off well without a hitch, to the point that police have said to us, okay, it's been.
Members of the Convoy to Save America parting ways with Denby, Melisha, Morgan, the heiress, in light of potential charity fraud, inconsistent statements, and unfulfilled promises. Due to putting the rest of the team in potential legal and financial danger, among other offenses, co-founder of Convoy to Save America, CTSA, Denby, Melisha, Morgan, has been removed from CSTA effective March 8, 2022. After missions to deliver supplies to convoy truckers at the Canadian border and Washington, D.C., and an estimated $20,000 worth of contributions, online donations, cash donations, supplies, gas cards, etc. has not been delivered to the promised recipients. The majority of supplies and funds are still in the possession of co-founding member Miss Morgan. Her lack of transparency and failure to properly obtain a non-personal bank account for accepting financial contributions were, in part, reasons for the decision to continue the mission in her absence. Despite multiple warnings, her failure to act put the rest of the team in potential legal and financial jeopardy. As a result, Daniel Wagner and Penny Fay have cut ties but are continuing their mission under the Convoy to Save America name. After having been removed as admin of the CTSA Facebook group, Ms. Morgan immediately launched a social media campaign with the goal of destroying CTSA and its remaining members' reputations via the court of public opinion. In addition to the potential legal liabilities, it was the very type of behavior that guided the decision to remove her in the first place. According to Daniel Wagner, the red flags became too numerous to ignore. We can't be in good consciousness dedicated to fighting lies, with many of those lies were originating from with our own organization. As per Penny Fay, on multiple occasions we spoke with her regarding her behavior and actions. She denied any wrongdoing and projected her any responsibility onto others, while simultaneously accusing us of outing her in public. For the record, we only ever spoke with her privately. To name a few of potential legal issues: money incoming, outgoing not properly accounted for, failure to report and track cash donations, failure to deliver supplies, loading donations, unsubstantial claims that a lawyer told her that we do not have to declare cash donations.